Let's analyze and explain why it makes sense to speculate on prioritizing movements that will lead in the crypto ecosystem. Consider how Bitcoin is at an extreme market point. The same can be said with the Ethereum chart, as well as with Cardano, which is at the base of a bullish macro channel, similar to Solana, which is now impacting a key defensive zone, or SHIBA INU, also reacting to a structural defensive zone. But first, let's remember at what price point we are. You are now looking at the Ethereum chart, and remember how we have compressed it into a wedge format, which is nothing more than a complex corrective pattern that had to find a key structural level to bounce off of to generate a strong bearish impulse, a sincerely expectable event. It started a correction that has recently started to plummet. So, if we go down to a 5-minute time frame on Ethereum, you'll remember that we were looking for a similar defensive zone to this one, as well as a key structure around here, where we were saying when the price was around this point that we expected the price to rise, either up to here or up to here, to offer us an even lower path than before, because the message was quite clear in which we were telling you that we still have room for decline. For me, that zone is interesting in Ethereum, right? We have the channel. The channel is being worked on. Let's see, what zone are they going to want to range? Will it be around this area? Will they want to take it higher? Well, that's where we need to start looking. The first zone is clear, and there we have the second one. Come on, let it go up more, okay? Let it go up more, and we can look for things on a little trap or on the same potential click. These two zones seem interesting to me to look for shorts, to speculate that, and climactic action will be sought, either immediately or over time, but to look for it. And the reason we clearly saw that the price had room to fall was, frankly, because you had to be quite reckless to want to face a bearish trend, knowing, on top of that, that we were so close to a key macro structure that, in our opinion, we were too far away. It seemed strange to us. We had to go down a little more. And for that same reason, looking at the Bitcoin chart, when the price was around this point, we speculated, also in the last Crypto Insight live stream, that we wanted to let the price rise and then start looking for shorts in the market around this level, as we didn't believe that the price had reached the limit of its bearish movement. In the same way, it would have been reckless when the price was precisely at this point to start looking for longs. And you see, it made sense to look for shorts here, as what an interesting stretch the market offered. In any case, we should be looking for short setups, knowing that we are coming from a great bearish extension, right? But yes, I prefer it 1,000 times. Let's look for them. Let's see if we find them. Come on. We have to be aggressive. We're going to M5. We're going to be aggressive. Let's look for them. Look at the drop, right? There has been a lot of aggressiveness here. The volume speaks for itself. And in the end, here we are experiencing that channel. Do you know what we can do? Since we think there may be more drops and this is not the end, we have to speculate about a range, look for the range excess to look for that short entry and give us the climactic action. Are you following me? Let's look for it around this area. The trap. Let's see if setting the trap works for us. Let this keep going up. Let them set a trap for us on which to look for a short. That trap could also perhaps be this click. We'll see. But around this area, yes, look for that idea of climactic action. A climactic action that frankly maybe keeps this in range and then does the climactic action, okay? The form will be seen in due course, and here we need to address position management issues. And once we realized that the price could continue to fall, and after it happened in a live stream on consecutive days, we were drawing a guideline similar to this one in consecutive live streams of Crypto Insight. And we were assessing that in the middle of the live stream we were precisely breaking the flat pattern, and the message we sent was that I sincerely did not believe in the break of the flat pattern so that immediately the price started to rise. Rather, I saw it as a trap to work on a brief correction and then to strongly break the creek upwards, as we were analyzing how smart money was absorbing bearish positions from retail investors. This stopping volume in Bitcoin is obvious to me. There's an interesting stopping volume here, and all of this has been absorbed just like this. It's been absorbed and has generated a gap, okay? Here it wants to go to the sky, but no. And here they have broken with strength, huh? I mean, the flat pattern is like saying, hey, we want to break it. This in itself looks good. I mean, it looks good for longs. But my doubt is, are they really going to break the click just like that? I seriously doubt it. The stopping volume is spectacular. Here's a click. This is going to bother. I don't know if they'll be able to break this and go. That's why it might make sense to look for a speculative idea here, no matter how corrective it may be, even if it's for a temporary correction before breaking out. As you may have noticed, it makes perfect sense that one day we are looking for that micro-bearish continuity, which you've seen has worked very well, so that the next day, or in other words, in the next video, we were patiently looking for the price to rise afterwards. And I mention this because there is always someone confused who finds it difficult to interpret or who thinks that we change our opinion every day. But I believe that this example is tremendously illustrative to show people that there is no problem with first waiting for such a drop and then starting to look up. Do you see how everything fits perfectly? You just have to make a little effort to understand it. And now I'm going to share with you what we are seeing in the crypto ecosystem. Are we optimistic or pessimistic? I'll share that with you right now, but first, welcome to Crypto Insight, your ethical and moral channel for cryptocurrency technical analysis. Here, we really know what we're talking about. We conduct advanced technical analysis that has been developed for over 12 years. We upload videos several times a week. If you're enjoying what you're seeing, let me know and leave a comment with your opinion. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click on the bell so you don't miss the next opportunity. Back to the 1 hour time frame in this case of Ethereum, we're going to notice the following. Initially, we are at an extreme market point where they worked on this distribution and generated a bearish impulse for us. If we zoom in a bit now, we will notice that regarding this bearish impulse, here we have AW, here they have generated a Y, and that's when we should ask ourselves if this I will be able to break through the corrective pattern guideline of the preceding bearish impulse. Because when AY fails in the attempt to break the key structure, if it fails, the price will most likely attempt to go for a Z. So look, if we are in a key context right now for Ethereum, in other words, if we see that Ethereum is able to hold the structure, at most it will set a trap, but it recovers quickly. We shouldn't give in much to the downside. If we see that it is not able to break down, then we will go look for a Z. And here we will see if we are able to break this range. The creek at the price level of $3,385 to look for that aggressive Z. Here I am not telling you with total certainty that this will happen, because nobody knows for sure. We have simply noticed that we are in a situation where the risk-reward factor is very favorable for longs. And now look at the Cardano chart on its 1 hour time frame. How are we doing in an uptrend channel? An uptrend channel where, at its upper part, smart money is willing to distribute a distribution that they have followed up with this bearish angle. That said, look at what catches our attention. Well, more than catching our attention, we have seen that this bearish impulse, in a very speculative way, could seek a harmonic failure. In other words, that the proportion of this impulse is not equitable and therefore has a shorter length. And it is in these circumstances when we talk about a harmonic failure. Because if the harmonic fails and is not the same length, that's when we can believe in the break of an opposite guideline, which we have already been analyzing here. I honestly don't know if this is going to happen, as I tell you on multiple occasions. Unfortunately, at least as of April 5, 2024, I don't have a crystal ball. I'm still waiting for Saruman to send me his ball from that tall and gloomy tower where he gave Gandalf a tremendous beating, but according to Saruman, the FedEx package seems to have been lost. Therefore, we will not have the crystal ball for the moment. But given this speculation, if we zoom in on Cardano, we will realize that we're at the base of a key structure, that we are already placing a creek, and that again the price. Look, like Ethereum is in a zone that is, so to speak, extreme limit. Very interesting areas to prioritize longs over shorts. Now look at the Solana chart on its 1 hour. Remember that this gray rectangle is a defense zone that is much clearer on the 4 hour time frame. But let's say it's a protection zone, since regarding this bearish impulse of Solana, here we have a complex corrective pattern composed of a W, a poor Iriga that has gone to seek a Xi. And that said, Z has gone to impact and then break the structure of the corrective pattern of the bearish impulse that saw it born. It only foretells a fateful movement. Honestly, if we consider these possibilities, it could be true. But beware, working with a cross analysis and analyzing Ethereum, Cardano, and as I will show you later, Bitcoin, we will see that the hypothesis that Solana is working on the classic structural trap is on the table. Because as you know well, all cryptos are at a key point. And here I pose the following question again. Just like Cardano, Solana might be presenting us with a harmonic failure that does not progress, and then believe later in a structural breakout, frankly. As I said, we don't know. But in the event that all this magic does occur, then we will look back and realize that the current moment is very good for speculating on such price increases in cryptocurrencies, whether to fight with structures or even to break them. Here I am going to tell you the same thing I have told my colleagues Liv this morning on Crypto Insight, that of course we can allow market traps before such searches, such as something like this, trying to trick around the defense zone, very interesting operational zones, to look for such movements. Of course, we have 1,001 ways to look for such incorporations knowing, and this is very important and must be very clear, knowing that if the price decides to break through the zone quickly, we cut our hand. We lose 4 cents of our position, since what we are actually looking for is a stretch a priori, much larger, but that could even develop into something much more appetizing. I hope you are realizing the power of identifying and speculating on market extremes as you put the risk-reward factor very much in your favor. That's why at Crypto Insight we have no ego. We don't care if the price breaks tomorrow and goes to hell, because today it can go wrong, tomorrow too, but the third one will go well and will compensate not only these 2 bad ones, but also 3 or 4 hypothetical bad operations. But enough with the spoilers. If you ask us if this happens frequently in Crypto Insight, I will tell you no. Therefore, I really don't know what you're waiting for. To subscribe to the Crypto Insight YouTube channel if you're not already part of our beautiful community. Alright, it's just clicking on a red button, nothing too mysterious. And look at SHIBA INU on its 1-hour time frame. How are we doing? We are being compressed against a key structure, which is this rectangle I showed you before, and at the same time we are seeing here. Well, regarding this bearish impulse, originally here we have the UW. There is no doubt, could we have labeled this with a poor Y here? Frankly, I'm not very convinced of that idea, and this would then have been, but what did I tell my colleagues Liv this morning at Crypto Insight? That if we see that the price responds to the structure upwards, as it is starting to do, that would imply that this is actually a W. This is AI, so we will go look for a Z. And if you notice, we are again in an optimal key area to look for these longs, knowing that we are going to give very little with a stop loss in case things turn grey. You know what I mean. Regarding Bitcoin, here we have a structural gap that smells strange. On the other hand, here we have that structure that is holding up all this volatility, and what will interest you the most right now is that regarding this bullish impulse, here we have identified the UA, a poor re that has gone to seek. Normally, these aggressive Zs tend to have the attempt and intention to come back to their structure. That said, let's zoom in, and now you will understand much better, because at the time we expected the price to keep falling, as it needed time to generate a bullish accumulation process. That's why we also didn't believe in this breakout attempt and speculated on a correction before breaking, basically to give it time, and now we have seen that they have broken the structure forcefully. So, if we see that the price of Bitcoin is not able to break this creek, at most generating a trap but recovering quickly, if we see that this creek holds, it is most likely that we will go look for the harmonic of this bullish impulse, then generating a movement that takes us to the guideline. And here we will see if we are able to break this structure in any day or not, but take away the moral of this video. We don't know if the price will rise, it's something we cannot guarantee at all. Simply by cross-analyzing the entire crypto ecosystem, we see that an opportunity arises where the risk is very reduced, because if we were to look for a long in this area, we know that with it going against us a bit and depending on what other cryptos do, we would quickly close the position, thus losing very little. On the other hand, if it goes in our favor, it's a very interesting stretch that, if Jesu Crypto wishes, would give us an upper stretch. This is not about guessing, but about working sensibly. If you liked this advanced technical analysis, let me know in the comments. Also, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click on the bell so that YouTube notifies you of future posts. Also, share the content with your friends and other trading and cryptocurrency communities. I wish you good luck in your trading and see you next time.